My last day of work is August 15th, 2025, and that day also happens to be my 39th birthday. And honestly, I cannot think of a better gift to give myself. I'm leaving my six-figure job. I sold almost everything I own, and I'm about to spend the next year traveling the world alone. I'm not doing all of this because I had a bad life. I'm doing it because I know I'm meant for a better one. For years, I had tried to make this life work. I tried to want the things I was supposed to want: the job, the house, the steady relationship. I chased the promotions, I negotiated the raises, and I got them. I'm making a salary I never dreamed of when I started out. The security was supposed to feel like freedom, but instead it felt like a trap, like golden handcuffs. And at one point, I even started house hunting when I lived in Austin because everyone around me was buying. And I thought maybe if I owned something, I'd feel more settled or more adult. But the truth is, I wasn't dreaming of roots. I was always dreaming of freedom. And the relationships, while I could have been married a few times by now, there were definitely some guys who wanted that with me. But I always had this sense, this gut feeling like this isn't it. Not for me, not yet. Because deep down, I wasn't looking for someone to build a life with. I was looking for the freedom to build one on my own. And the more I tried to follow the path, the more I realized I was chasing a dream that wasn't even mine. I really don't want to climb the corporate ladder anymore. I just want to leave the building. Then life made the decision for me. In 2024, I lost both my cats. London had been with me since I was 19 years old, Vegas since I was 21, and they brought so much love and happiness into my life. They made me laugh every single day. They were my constant companions. When work was stressful, they were the break. And when I felt lonely, they were the comfort. They made my life feel full when nothing else did. They were my reasons for keeping the job, paying the rent, and sticking to the plan. Because even if the path didn't feel right, they did. But Vegas died in March, and a few months later, in August, London was diagnosed with aggressive cancer. She had 5 tumors, and they told me that she had days or weeks to live. And when I heard that, when I realized I was about to lose both of them in the same year, I made a vow. I told London if she had to go, I would finally live the life I couldn't have lived while she was here. I wouldn't just keep going. I wouldn't just get another cat and pretend I was okay. I would make it mean something. I would create something beautiful out of the hardest thing I'd ever experienced. I was with her nearly every second of every day until she passed that September. And after that, it was up to me to keep my word. But the grief hit me all at once, and at first I could barely function. Just getting through the day felt impossible. And then came the waves, those sudden moments that sucker punched me out of nowhere. The memories, the silence, the missing. The apartment felt all wrong. It was too quiet, it was too empty. I had never lived alone before, not without them. I didn't know who I was without them. I didn't know what life was without them. But slowly, little glimmers started to show up. A few moments where I felt even the tiniest bit hopeful again, like maybe something could exist on the other side of this. The idea for this next chapter, it didn't come all at once, but it came piece by piece, not as answers, but questions. Like, what if I walked the Camino de Santiago? Not just to check it off a list, but to be fully present and prove to myself that I could do something hard alone. What if I studied meditation in India, not on YouTube or in an app, but in the place that it was born? What if I finally got fluent in Spanish so I could connect more deeply with people and cultures instead of just passing through them? Each piece felt random at first, but over time they started forming something like a pattern, like a map that had been there all along. I just hadn't seen how the pieces fit yet. As the vision came together, the logistics did too. I was able to sell or donate almost everything I owned. Only what I could fit in my Hyundai Elantra came with me, and now it lives in my brother's storage unit. I moved in with my parents for a couple of months. I put in my 2 weeks notice at work, and I booked my one-way ticket to Paris for 2 days after my last day of work, 2 days after my 39th birthday. I'm not thinking of this as a vacation. I'm thinking of this as a grad school for my soul. I want to use this year, my final year in my 30s, to redefine what the second half of my life looks like, to strip away everything I thought I should be and let who I really am show up. Carl Jung once said something like, try the activities and ideas that grab you, and eventually you'll become who you were meant to be, and it'll be incredible. So that's what I'm trying to do. Each part of this trip has purpose, a theme or a lesson, a part of myself I want to meet or strengthen. In September, the plan is to walk the Camino de Santiago, the full 500 miles from France to Spain. And in this month, I really want to practice presence and perseverance. So, for presence, I want to notice the moments I'd usually rush past, like the way the light hits the trees or how good it feels to take my shoes off after a long day. And for perseverance, I want to face the parts of the walk that scare me, like being alone and being uncomfortable, not knowing where I'm going to sleep, but doing them anyway. I want to prove to myself that I can keep showing up even when my legs ache or my mind tries to talk me out of it. Because the version of me I want to become, I feel like she's not waiting at the end. She's built step by step in the gritty middle. In October, my plan is to do Portugal and Spain. And this month is going to be all about continuing to rebuild my trust with my body because for most of my life, food has been my comfort and reward, my escape, my best friend and worst enemy. But if I'm going to travel for a whole year, I cannot rely on pasta and pastries to carry me through the hard days. And I have done a ton of work over the years, therapy, retreats, even plant medicine to help untangle my relationship with food. And I'm really proud of how far I've come, but doing that work in daily life is one thing, but doing it while traveling solo without structure or predictability, that's going to be the next layer. I've been learning how to listen to my body again, and now I want to keep doing that in new places with new rhythms and no fixed routine to lean on. I want to find out what actually gives me energy while traveling, what movement feels good, not just what burns calories, and how to stay grounded without falling back into my old patterns. This isn't going to be about rules or restriction, but more about finally feeling at home in my body no matter where I am in the world. In November, I'll be in India studying meditation at an ashram. And the goal here is to really deepen my relationship with meditation and learn how to guide others too. So I'll be doing this meditation certification program, which means hours each day of practice and study and stillness, of not just learning how to meditate, but how to teach it, how to hold space for others in the same way I've been learning to hold space for myself. And I am so excited about this one because the skills I gain at this retreat are going to make the meditations I share on YouTube even better, more intentional and supportive and impactful. In December, I actually have more time in India, but this time I don't have a set plan or agenda. I'm just kind of leaving space for the unexpected. This is the month I'm practicing trust by staying open and just being willing to follow whatever feels right. In January, I'm heading to Guatemala for a full Spanish immersion program. And I'm so excited about this, but also a little nervous because it will be 6 hours of lessons a day, and I'll be living with a host family speaking Spanish pretty much from morning till night. It is going to stretch my brain so much and my comfort zone as well. It's going to obviously test my focus and my consistency and my capacity to stay with something even after the novelty wears off, even after it stops being excited. And this is something I really want to work on because I want to be the type of person that doesn't just start things, but follows through. So, also in 2026, I'm planning to travel through Central and South America, and those plans are still unfolding. But just like everything else on this journey, I am trusting that they'll reveal themselves when the timing's right. I want to learn new skills and meet new teachers and just challenge myself in ways I haven't even yet imagined. To keep saying yes to the things that stretch me and excite me and terrify me just a little. To remember that growth isn't a box you check, it's a life you live. Because reinvention isn't a destination, it's a daily choice. One I'll keep showing up for each month with each new challenge. Every stop, a new version of me to meet. And I'm not doing this to run away. I'm doing it because I am finally ready to run towards something, to stop wishing things are different and start living like I believe they can be. And I still have fears, a ton of fears. What if I regret it? What if I hate it? What if I get hurt or feel totally alone? But here's the thing, those fears are already coming true in my so called safe life, the one with the steady job and nice apartment and the predictable days. What if I regret it? I already did every Sunday when the scaries kicked in. What if I hate it? I already did quietly and resentfully one Zoom call at a time. What if I get hurt? I already was. I was burnt out and numb and out of alignment with myself, feeling more alone each day. Security sounds like a good thing until it becomes a cage. I stayed because it felt stable and familiar, but comfort is not the cure. Staying small doesn't make us safe, it just makes us stuck. So I'm leaving. I am saying goodbye to the version of me who stayed because it was easier. I'm saying goodbye to the plans I made when I didn't know I had options. I'm saying goodbye to the life that made sense but didn't make me happy. I'm not trying to become someone new. I'm just trying to become me, finally. The one who isn't afraid to want more. The one who trusts her gut. The one who stops living for the weekends and starts building a life she doesn't need to escape from. So, this is the plan. This is my vow. And this is the life I'm choosing now. If you're at all curious about where this is going to lead, I would love to have you along for the ride. Subscribe and follow the journey. Thanks so much for watching.